Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Come on in. Hey, come on in. It's almost time here for Chain Breakers 365 Live. I just want to get this out and help Facebook find my people. So let's finish this up really quick. Boom. Okay. Almost got it here, and we'll get ourselves going really fast. And I think that's, oh, one more. Okay, good morning, Chain Breakers. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hi, I am Brad Smith. I am your host for Chain Breakers 365 Live and the creator of hashtag Uplift and Rise. I want to welcome you in here today. It is Thursday. Wow. Time is so flying already through this year. It is January the 9th, 2020. Again, this is going to be a fantastic day. Weather here in West Central Indiana, it's going to be a strange one. It's starting off sub-freezing. It's going to hit about 50 today, and it's going to go from what it was sunny yesterday, it's still dark out right now, to very windy and warm this afternoon, even into later into the evening where we're going to start into monsoon season. They already have flood warnings out and the rains have not even started yet. Hey, I want to say good morning to a few people who have already jumped in here early. Nat Banks, good morning. Janine McConnell, good morning. Jeremy George, my friend, how are you? Leanne Rainsmith, glad to see you here this morning. Kim Cardwell, glad you're here this morning also. Today, I want to start a new series on love. Today, we're going to talk about the pursuit of love and why it is that so many of us spend our time chasing love. Hey, Laura, how are you? Good to see you in here this morning, too. She is one of our regulars, and I'm always glad to see Laura in here. So why is it that we spend so much time pursuing love? You see, love is one of the very basic human needs. Now, why do I say that? Love is a connection with another being. So all of those of you who are introverts, I will warn you up front. Love is connection with another person. You will not ever feel fulfilled. You will never feel completely happy without that connection. Now, for those of you who are single, I'm not telling you you cannot be happy, because love is not necessarily a one-on-one connection. And I will talk about that as well. But it is connection with others outside of ourselves. You see, when we are totally inwardly focused, it is totally about self. It is a selfish reaction. And when we are focused internally, or mind you, introvert, focused inward, we are not connecting with others. You see, some of the greatest happiness that we as individuals can achieve in life is when we are giving into the lives of other people. When we see the impact that we make in others' lives is where some of the greatest joy in the world can be felt. Hey, Janice, glad you're here this morning. And I want to talk to you very briefly about the love chapter out of the Bible. And yes, if you are Christians and you know your Bible at all, it is 1 Corinthians 13, starting into verse 4. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered, and it keeps no record of wrongs. Wow. I think in a lot of cases, we can really learn a lot just out of those two verses, 4 and 5. It's patient. We need to have a lot of patience with one another. We need to give them breaks. Too often, in the pursuit of love or wanting that connection with other people, we tend to put things on our timeline. But you see, love is patient. And in that patience, we can't put a limitation around it. Unless you want to start limiting love, you cannot limit that time. You can't put time parameters of it. It does not envy. So envy, meaning we are jealous of another person or we are jealous of an interaction with people, that's not love. It doesn't boast. And yes, I know that when we have that initial feeling of elation that comes with that relationship of being in love, and I'm gonna talk about that being, you want to brag about it to the world. It is something that is so overwhelming, it's bubbling outside of us, and we want to connect with others. But here's something where we can learn a lot from, and I'm going to take it a little bit out of order. Well, no, I'll keep it in order. It's not self-seeking, and I just talked about that. It is not inwardly focused. It is not selfish, right? It is in the giving to another person. It is in the expression of of your feeling to another person. You see, love is not something physical. It is an emotion. We cannot just give love like we're handing a box over to somebody else. It is an expression of ourselves. It is in the giving of ourselves. And if you hear me thumping on my chest, it is in the giving of ourselves to another is where love comes from. It is not easily angered. Wow, take that along with patience and think about your interactions with your loved ones. Are we quick to jump to anger? Are we quick to jump to frustration? Are we quick to vocalize our upset with another? And is that in love? See, frequently we get so caught up in other emotions that we lose sight of this is the person that I'm spending the rest of my life with, or this is my child, the one I brought into this world. I'll get into children here in just a second. It is not easily angered. And here's the other one. And there's a lot of people that can learn a lot from this one. It keeps no record of wrongs. Wow. Does that strike home for some people? How often in arguments with your significant other, and you get upset, you get caught up in your anger, and things that you've been hanging on to for the last 6 months, the last year, man, it all comes out, right? And that's the record. That is the record of wrongs, that it does not keep record of wrongs. That is the record. And if you are hanging on to that, then the hanging on to those things, to that pain, is more important to you than love. And if that is striking home to you right now, I ask you to take a quick examination of that. And if you've got a pain that you need to resolve, then you need to resolve it so that you can live in love instead of living in pain. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices in the truth. It always protects. It always trusts, meaning we must be able to trust in one another. It always hopes, and love always perseveres. Here's the other thing I want you to really realize, that in the fact that love is an emotion, it is not a physical thing. I'm not handing a box to another person. Love is something that we feel and we give, not we receive. It is in something we give. You see, think about it as a parent or even a grandparent. And Nat, I know I saw you earlier You could be seeing another grandchild today, and congratulations, my friend. But think about this for a second. From the moment that child is born, immediately you feel a connection. You feel a love to that child, to that infant, to that baby, to your child, your grandchild, right? That child has done nothing to give anything to you yet than show up in this world. But immediately you have that feeling and you want to express that feeling to that child. You can't wait but to sit and hold and cuddle with that child, because that's the way you know that you can share that feeling with that child. That is that love connection that you have to one another. So in the love, we need to understand you will not be able to receive love until you are open to give love. In order to be able to receive love, you must be able to give love. And love does not keep record. When you're sitting here, my friends, keeping record, and I'm not just talking about record of wrongs, when you're keeping record, I'm not going to call them because they haven't called me. Love is a two-way street, and if you have a loving relationship with that person, you're not worried about what you're receiving. Love is a giving expression. We've had a lot of people also just jump on here recently. I want to say hi really fast. Wanda Curtis Day, good morning. Glad to see you. Marianne, my mother-in-law, glad you're in here this morning. Janice Fetterspiel, I'm not sure. I don't think I said hello to you this morning. Glad to have you in here also this morning. But love is that two-way street. It is in the giving. It is in the giving of yourself. It is in that connection. It is in the communication. I was just talking about a second ago, when we've got that infant, the infant doesn't understand the words that you speak when you tell it how much you love it. It knows two things. It knows your tonality, right? Because for 9 months, all they've been able to hear is mother or those very close to mother, right? Speaking to the child, and those tonality, those vibrations, that's what they have felt. So as you speak to the child, it doesn't know the words yet, but it knows the feeling behind the tonality. It can feel in that tonality. The other one is in the expression of touch. And that in itself is a love language. And we're going to talk about love languages as we continue into this series a little bit. But I do want to get into and talk about the fact that we must, in love, be able and willing to communicate. That is, and we'll talk about this more as we continue the subject, but as people start those dating relationships, right? So often we hold back because we're afraid of being hurt. We hold back our feelings, we hold back our emotions because we don't want to be hurt. But what did I just say? Love is an outward communication. It is an outward expression of that feeling. We cannot receive love until we are willing to give love. So my friends, as you hold something in, as you hang on to it, until you are willing to express it, you will not get it from another person. So until you are willing, and yes, the potential for pain can be there, but until you are willing to begin to express of yourself and to communicate your affection for another, you will not receive it in return. You must be willing to express your feeling, whether it's in your words or in your actions or in your behavior, in some form of communication. You must be willing to express it before you are able to receive it. I want to thank you so much for being here. We're going to continue this love as part of a series moving forward. But I want to thank you for being in here this morning. If you've enjoyed this, or if you know people that are struggling with one-on-one relationships, that are struggling with the relationship with their spouse, that just want to understand what love is all about a little bit more, then I'm going to ask you, share this message out to them. Make sure that they're in here over the next few days. Make sure that they're becoming part of it. There is no better way to be able to get people to join in than to be able to share this message out with them. I want to thank you for being here this morning. I want to look forward to seeing you tomorrow at 7:30 a.m. right here on Chainbreakers 365 Live. If you have trouble seeing us live, catch us in replay. You can find us on my YouTube channel at Chainbreakers 365, or you can go to my website, chainbreakers365.com, where you'll find go to the main menu, drop down, you can find videos there, and the entire library was there as well. But there's no better way than to catch it live. So tomorrow morning, I look forward to seeing you again right here for Chainbreakers 365. Go out there, express your love, and be amazing today, my friends. Bye now.